Is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Quick apology if you hear the heat pump going in the background. It's about 32 here, so it is trying to keep the house warm, and I'm outside in the garage with it. But today I'm going to be going over my January top carried knives of the month. Cannot believe another one is in the books, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Not going to dilly-dally too much. I'm going to jump right into the list. We're going to talk today about the knives that I carried 5 through 1 and a little bit about the knife, what I'm enjoying about it, and why I think it's in the top 5 of my carry. So coming in at number 5 is going to be the QSP Penguin Plus. This one here is the traditional pocket knife exclusive variant with the jig titanium, and they replaced the wire pocket clip with a titanium pocket clip, and instead of 20 CV you're getting M390. Pretty much the same steel, but something that's a little bit different, and it isn't too much more expensive. I love this one because I think the jig titanium just makes it look really cool while it's still looking like a gentlemanly carry. I believe the titanium pocket clip upscales it a little bit from the wire pocket clip that comes with it standard. I think the wire pocket clip is a little bit probably a more inconspicuous for EDC, but I think the titanium just upscales the knife a little bit more for me. I like this thin profile because it feels really good in the pocket because it takes up a little less space than something that might be a little bit thicker, but because it has the tall handles and it's contoured and knocked down really good, it still feels really nice in hand. Great, useful, utility shaped blade. You can choke up a little bit on that flipper tab for the detailed work out on the tips. Really great size for EDC, and it'll handle a ton of your cutting tasks, and it'll work just fine for breaking down boxes and doing some more medium, heading towards heavier duty tasks for sure. I was not able to install skiffs on this one. They don't make the size for this one, but I have no issues with the factory bearings. They're nice and smooth, and it is really smooth on the close and the open, and you get multiple means of deployment, so it does have a slight fidget factor to it as well. But just a great model from QSP. Such a great knife. Now, number 4 is going to be a newer release, but I really enjoyed it, and I carried it a good amount to try to get a review, an opinion formed for the review. But I do like the knife a lot, and we're going to move that out the rest of the way until we get to the end, and then I'll bring them all back out. But that is going to be the Devo Mash. This one here is a Blue Creek Knives exclusive, so you can only get it on their website. 14C28N titanium frame with a liner lock, which I really like because that means it's going to work really well in the right or the left hand. You're not going to have any issues accessing that lock bar. Reversible wire deep carry pocket clip, and it does have titanium hardware, which I think is something that's often overlooked in reviews, because most of the time when you're getting the $100-ish range titanium knife with the budgety steel, you're also getting steel hardware. On this one, a little bit higher because of the fact that you are getting the titanium hardware on here, which for me was really nice because I was able to anodize it to personalize it for myself. You guys know that I love blue, one of my favorite colors, and you see it on a lot of knives. I do mix it up, but I do like that one a lot. The hollow grind on here, really well done. The edge is held up really nice, and it came really good from the factory as well. It has that sheep's foot style blade, which I like because you can still puncture to get into whatever you might be cutting. So if you have like a really big piece of cardboard and you're just trying to get it cut in half and you got to start somewhere, this will poke into that just fine, and that hollow grind is going to slice really well through the materials. Carries really well. The contoured handles make it really comfortable in hand, even for my larger hands. But just a great knife at a really good price, and coming from a really good retailer. I like Blue Creek Knives. I know they're just getting started, but I wish them all the success in the world, long as they can continue to have that level of service that they do today. Now, coming in at number 3, it's my Vero Impulse. Really love this. This is the second ever Tonto in my lineup, and I've really just found how much I really enjoy them. They work really great for utility cutting and draw cutting, as long as you keep that tip sharp and pointy and you don't round it when you sharpen it. It works really, really well, and they're very easy to sharpen. Beautiful stone wash finish on here. Bestech did a really good job with Vero's design. I like the thickness on this, but it's still really thin behind the edge for being a little bit of a thicker knife, so it slices nicely. The tip out on the edge punctures very well. Awesome access to the lock bar. This thing has access for days. Very smooth. With the weight of the blade, it just wants to fall shut with little to no effort. There's a little bit of a ramp there, but once you get past that ramp, just light shakes take it home. Flipper tab has good jimping on it, and it has a nice angle, so it fires out. And then you do have the reversible flick from the fuller. Awesome job there. Pocket clip sticks up a little bit, but Gen 3 is a little bit better because they did knock down, so it doesn't poke as much, but you do feel it in hand. All titanium hardware. As you can see, it is anodized all on the knife, and I love the way that that came out. Just a fantastic knife. The M390 by Bestech seems to be done really well, and what can I say? Just a great knife, and that's definitely why it is number 3 on the list. Coming in at number 2 is probably going to surprise some folks, might not surprise some others, but that's going to be the Reeveumizon from Chris Reeve Knives. This has been on a bunch of lists, and it's just that good. That's why I like it so much. This is the RGT pocket clip. I did scratch it up, so I did try to polish it up a little bit and re-anodize it, but I think I missed one of the snail trails out towards the tip. Awesome, comfortable, fantastic hollow grind, sweet edge. What can I say about this Tonto knife? This was definitely the first one that let me know how much I really like a Tonto. Super easy to control through the push cuts. Great access to the lock bar. You have this lip here that makes it very easy to get to. Thumb studs are very comfortable on this knife, and it has such a good girth height to it. Chamfered on the edge, it's comfortable in the hand, carries well in the pocket too. Awesome knife. This is definitely one of my favorites. I'm so glad I was able to finally pick one of these up, and it makes perfect sense while it's definitely still in the top 5. But that probably leaves you wondering, what is in number 1? Well, if you know my channel and you know something that made into my pocket a lot last year was the 20.5s, but this month the AD20S with the original GOAT titanium scales installed on it. S45 VN flat ground blade with a beautiful stone wash. This one is the MG variant, which is made here in the US, but it is machine ground. These scales completely transformed it, just like it did for the AD 20.5. Super comfortable in hand. That Lynch Northwest deep carry pocket clip, really awesome for right hand carry. They do sell them in lefty. You just got to specify if you are a lefty. Super fidgety action. The thumb stud is great for deploying, the fuller for the reverse flick, and of course you can fidget with it with that shark lock. This thing is definitely a little bit more hard use. It will slice just fine, and it does go through the cardboard just fine. It, you know, right now behind the edge it's thin, but I think eventually when I am ready to replace the edge, I'm going to probably end up sending it in and getting a hollow ground done on it just to make it slicey and keep it thin for the life of the knife. But the S45 on here seems well treated, and my hope is that it holds up and lasts a really long time. So that is number 1 was the AD20S. Number 2 was Chris Reeve knife Reeveumizon. Number 3, as I completely missed that reverse flick, is the Vero Engineering Impulse. Number 4, the Devo Mash Blue Creek Knives exclusive. And number 5 is going to be the QSP Penguin Plus. And would you look at that, guys? I don't know how I did that, but I have an all titanium carry, and almost everything in here has a pop of blue attached to it. Leave that to me. The good news is my heat pump has cut off, so if there was background noise, that should be completely gone by now. The other piece of the good news is the video is almost over. Or maybe bad news, because you might want to see more knife content. I mean, I know I do. Let me know what you've been carrying and enjoying the most here recently. What's your top carried knife, and what do you really love that's in your inventory that you just can't get enough of? Love to hear that stuff down in the comments. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, peace.